Applying cycle indicators correctly can literally print you money. And in this video, I am going to show you a couple of coins in which if you apply those indicators, you will most probably 2x or 5x your money. And one of those coins is PETH. Now, before jumping into the video, I'm going to quickly tell you what are we going to talk about. First of all, I'm going to introduce a new indicator called Stoch RSI, and we're basically going to see how it works together with the crypto cycle indicator that I presented in the previous video. Then we are going to take a look at the tokens and which tokens are going to produce those 2x or 5x returns that are very common in the bull market. And we're going to see the buy signals. We're going to analyze the buy signals from the VIP group. We're quickly going to discuss what are bad tokens and how to actually spot a good token. And if we have time at the end of the video, we're going to talk at what we can expect from the Bitcoin cycle. Coming back to the chart, we would like to see the Stoch RSI indicator and compare it with the cycle indicator. For this, I'm going to come back to the Bitcoin chart, which we're already familiar with. I'm going to select the Binance right here, and I'm going to quickly zoom in to see the current situation of the cycles. Now, as you remember, at the top we have 4 indicators. Right here on the left side, we have the 4-hourly cycle, we have the daily cycle, we have the 3-day cycle, and we have the weekly cycle. Below, I added 3 more indicators, which is actually the same indicator. Here you can see the daily Stoch RSI, the 3-day Stoch RSI, and the weekly Stoch RSI. While the Stoch RSIs are actually freely available under the indicators tab, the cycle indicators are something proprietary and can only be found in the VIP group. And if you want to find the VIP group, you have to go below the video in the description field and simply join the free group. If you like the contents of the free group, you can join the paid VIP group, where you're going to find even more information with the exact entry and exit signals for all coins. Now, if we take a look at the cycle indicators, let's say we take a look at the daily indicator and the daily Stoch RSI, the best thing is when those 2 indicators, they come into harmony. If we take a look at the 25th of June 2024, we can see that this daily Stoch RSI is showing 1.24. That's the value on the left side. Let me come back. And the 1-day cycle is showing us 16, which is actually perfect because both indicators are below 20. Now, Stoch RSI tends to go deeper down the rabbit hole, basically closer to 0 and closer to 100. So it's a very volatile indicator. However, if both indicators are below 20, it means that the market is most probably about to reverse and most probably reach the bottom. And if both indicators are above 80, it means that get out. The market is overheated. Now, if those 2 indicators are showing a similar value and we have a buy signal, it's most probably a great buying opportunity. And if we use this buy opportunity for Bitcoin in the last couple of days, we would have made 1.5%, which is extremely small. But of course, we didn't consider other indicators as of now. Now, if I zoom out a little bit, I'll be able to see and compare the 3-day and the weekly Stoch RSI indicators with the weekly with the cycle indicators. For me, the most important one is actually the weekly Stoch RSI, because I would like this indicator to go into harmony with the weekly cycle. Let me go in the past a little bit and let me see where those 2 indicators coincide. Right here about this zone. As you can see, the weekly Stoch RSI is showing 14.38, so it's below 20. And the weekly cycle is showing 4.50, meaning that this is the perfect opportunity to buy. And as you can see on the chart, I also applied the green color, which basically shows that this buying opportunity is most probably a really good one. At the same time, we have the daily cycle at 8, and we have a growing 3-day cycle. So when we have those kind of data, when the indicator is showing these data, it's a no-brainer. We just buy and we have a very, very high chances to succeed. Now, as you can see, those kind of opportunities, they don't come often. If I go again in the past, so just a moment, here we have the February 5th, February 7th. If we go back in the past, we can see that the similar situation happened 26th of September. So it's about 4 months difference, meaning that those kind of opportunities happen just a couple of times a year. And if I go back, I can see that we had a similar chance somewhere around here, somewhere around the bottom of Bitcoin, right? The weekly Stoch RSI was 32, so it didn't touch 20. However, the weekly cycle and the daily cycle were both below 20 at about 20th of December 2022. So we must use these kind of chances because this is the easiest opportunity to print money. Now, in order to identify which tokens to buy for the 2x or 5x returns, one thing what we can do is actually to go to our signal group. Now, in the VIP group, you will find the very strong, average, and weak buy signals. If we enter the very strong group, what I'm doing actually every single morning, I'm checking the tokens that are outputted in the group. So here we can see the CIRUS USDT coin and short information about the cycles. So the daily cycle actually 71, which immediately disqualifies for buying. The 3-day cycle and the weekly cycle are about 2. So the risk level is 25, but it's the average of those 3 cycles. Now, why I said that the daily cycle disqualifies us from buying? Because at the moment, I'm a risk-averse trader. I prefer to actually enter those kind of trades where the weekly cycle is below 20, where the daily cycle is below 20, and when the Stoch RSI comes into harmony with the weekly cycle. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to scroll up and I'm going to look for different coins. We have a lot of CIRUS indicator. And don't understand me wrong. There's a high chance that we are going to make money buying this. We just have to open the graph and analyze it. However, I'm not going to do this for the sake of the video because I'm looking for that easy 2x or easy 3x returns. Now, as you can see, there are not many signals today or yesterday. So guys, you have to understand that in order to make profit in the crypto market, we have to be very patient. We rather wait for one perfect signal a month rather than start day trading and lose our money. So I just approached Prime USDT, which looks very good to me. All the cycles being below 20 looks like a perfect trading opportunity. Let me enter and check it out. Now, looking at first glance, it actually looks like a perfect trading opportunity for me. If I just zoom out the chart a little bit, I can see that the weekly Stoch RSI right here, the weekly cycle, the 3D cycle, and the daily cycle are all below 20, which indicates usually a perfect buying opportunity. On top of that, the price is retesting the previous cycle high, which is actually a very natural behavior in the markets. I will most probably buy this token and then wait for the daily cycle to start going up, also waiting for the 3-day and the weekly cycles to go up. Now, one thing that I like to investigate is I like to go to the past of this token and see whether the previous cycles were successful. I can clearly see that this cycle was very successful because the weekly DSS reached 92 and the price has increased exponentially. So if I just measure the price from the weekly cycle low to the weekly cycle high, it's more than 200%, which is more than enough to triple your money. Now, if we go to the past, again, I can see kind of a similar bullish behavior for this token. After the initial crash, the price was going up almost all the time with the small crashes during the weekly cycle lows. That's actually wonderful. I'm going to buy this token and I'm going to tell you guys how my purchase actually went. In order to identify good or bad token, all we have to do is look at the past performance of the token. Let me very quickly come back to the VIP group and check the CIRUS token that was firing this whole morning. Here we're going to see a very different behavior. I already observed CIRUS just a couple of minutes ago, and I saw that, hey, from the initial standpoint, this looks actually quite a good token to buy. Let's remove this just for the sake of clarity, because the chart is very small and we don't need them right now. Because anyways, I'm taking a look and I'm talking about the weekly Stoch RSI right now. Now, the weekly Stoch RSI, the weekly cycle, the 3-day cycle are all below 20. And what we have to do, we have to wait until the daily cycle comes below 20 to have what seems perfect buying opportunity. Now, it might be a great buying opportunity. However, the risk here is much higher. And let me explain you why. Now, the previous weekly cycle was a success. Basically, we briefly touched 77. Well, we didn't touch 80, so it was not a full success. But anyways, the price has increased from the cycle top to the cycle bottom. It basically doubled, right? And kind of a similar things happened even in the previous cycle. If we go to the previous cycle bottom, the previous cycle top, we have around 300%, which is great. However, if I'm changing this chart to the daily chart, I can see that this token is a token that's turning down. Buying these kind of tokens, the risk is much, much higher because what you can see here is that every single cycle, the price is lower and lower and lower. And I'm talking about a cycle, weekly cycle tops here, 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 and here. And we don't know what to expect right now. I'm not saying that that's a bad token to buy. However, what I'm saying is that the risk here to make 2x, 3x, or 5x is much lower in comparison with the previous token, Prime USDT. Apart from following the cycles, we also want to see the historical performance of the cycles and see whether the token is turning up or down. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the VIP group.